Hey, we're back at the top again today with the return of an old favorite series. A lot of the time I use this series to review new games, but most of the time I use it to go over other aspects of things. This series is known as The Good and the Bad, where we go over, well, the good and the bad of any topic. I feel like it's self-explanatory enough. But today, we're going over the good and the bad of the start of the new Pokemon generation, Pokemon Sword and Shield. A lot of people are going to call out on the many bad things this game has to offer, but counterpoint, there are a lot of good aspects for it as well. But before you leave in frustration after I said that, if there is something I do not like, I'm not going to go easy. Don't worry, everyone's voice will be heard. Let me know what you think are the best and worst aspects of the new games down in the comment section below. Now then, let's go ahead and dive right into the good and the bad of Pokemon Sword and Shield. Now, the wild area was something to be excited for. An open world area is exactly what we've been wanting. There's a lot to offer here. Extremely high-leveled Pokemon, max raid battles, many different varieties of climates. It's honestly something I expected to see, but it kinda went above and beyond my expectations. For example, I didn't realize that the wild area went further north. I just hope that this is a test for things to come later on down the line. And I really do, since half the time you're in the wild area, there's just so much going on that the system just cannot handle it, which is odd because the Switch is supposed to be this amazing, powerful system, yet the frames drop most of the time, not to mention all the online functionality, wild Pokemon, and raid battles bogging everything down. No, it's not the system, it's the game itself. It can't get out of its own way to produce the best quality graphics without being dumpstered in the frame rate department. Speaking of those max raids, they are a great time. Max raids are only found in the wild area, but they bring somewhat of an atmosphere that you see with raids in Pokemon Go, except for the fact that you only have 4 trainers, and even then it's a tough task to take down each raid boss. You can either raid with your friends, or raid with 3 other NPC trainers who don't know what a competitive Pokemon is if one ran them over with their car. I don't know what a Pokemon would be doing with a car, but who knows? All for a chance to catch a Pokemon with a hidden ability, a Ditto, or better yet, a G-Max Pokemon. How can there be a problem with this feature? Well, let me tell you. Other than the 90th different skin for the Battle Tower in the last 19 years and competitive battling, this is all there is in post-game. There's nothing much else. At least in past games, there was something in addition to all of these things. But in Sword and Shield, that's it. For how much GameFreak harped on putting effort in other areas, this ain't it, Chief. There are 2 things people look for in a brand new generation. The first is the new Pokemon. New Pokemon define the new generation since they are all brand new additions to the Pokédex, and they didn't disappoint this time. Well, in some areas. Some Pokemon are just weird, but others are amazing. There is an issue with the spikes and stripes that people always bring up, or the quote-unquote making food a Pokemon, but realistically, Pokemon can be almost anything at this point, and I do not have a problem with that at all. What I do have a problem with is the second thing people look for in a new Pokemon game, an engaging story with interesting characters, plot lines, and character development, which we fell short of this time. Sure, the characters were interesting and the plot was engaging, but something felt off. There was little to no character development, and the story was left lacking a side plot like an evil team. You just went from city to city, participating in the gym challenge dealing with slight nuisances. It just felt like you were there for the ride. Not to mention, it was quite short. I completed it in 21 hours. Normal games lasted for 25 hours plus due to how much you needed to accomplish before defeating the game, but unfortunately the effort in this department was off its mark. I know how much people despise the Masuda Snap. People were boycotting the game just because of it. While the reasoning went a bit deeper, I did somewhat agree with them. Why take out half of the Pokédex? What will that accomplish? Well, I guess more work on the animations and the graphics. We'll get to that soon enough, but when I knew that the meta wasn't going to be another 3 years of Generation 6 New Game Plus, I was excited. No more Tapus, no more Oppressive Megas, no more Landorus Therian, no more Celesteela. You don't understand how excited I was for this. But like I said, it was at the cost of Dexit. No Megas, half the Pokédex missing. For what? Better animations and graphics? Don't get me wrong, the graphics are pretty good. They aren't the best, but they are head and shoulders better than past games. The models were updated at least, and while they have the same wireframes, why would you need to do everything from scratch again? The animations, on the other hand, oh no, these absolutely do not get a pass. Graphics aren't final, my ass. At E3, Score Bunny took a hop to double kick. What did he do when the game came out? Hopped around some more. At least put more effort into each attack like you did for Pyro Ball, instead of saying you wanted to put more effort into the animations and then do nothing about the old attacks. No longer do we have to live and die with a ranking number. 1800 was a pretty decent number using this number system, because you always started at 1500, but this system was very primitive. However, this was changed in the new generation. Now they're actually up to speed with other competitive games. They have specific tiers for how good you are at battling, from beginner tier to master ball tier. It actually feels rewarding to climb. Not only that, but to get Pokemon for competitive battling, well, that's now easier than ever. They've added new ways to level up your Pokemon with EXP candies on top of a way to change your Pokemon's nature with the use of a single-use item. It doesn't get any easier than that. Let's go ahead and get into these 6v6 What? They still don't have a way to battle 6v6 singles easily? Ah, shoot, well... Oh well, we can at least connect with friends to battle. It can't be much worse than the Oh no. Festival Plaza, I'm sorry I talked so much trash about you. Come back! Well, it's not that bad. I mean, we can at least still battle 6v6 though. Okay, here we go. This is great. New meta, new graphics, 20-second timer. Wait, say again? You're kidding me. This game is trash. Look, I'm sorry. I do like this game. I want to love this game. But they said they cut the Pokédex to work on graphics and animations. The graphics, they're passable. They're acceptable. The animations are literally funneled into all of the new additions. And to top it all off, they neuter 6v6 singles even more. You can download a bunch of rules, but they don't have that rule set. You cannot battle 6v6 singles without the 20-minute timer. For years they didn't have a timer. And in the past 6 years, it's just been an hour. Soon it's only going to be 1 minute. You want your singles match? Congrats. Now you can get a true 1v1. I had my silver lining about this game, and now it's just been ruined. In all honesty though, this game is okay. It deserves its criticisms and praise, but when I compare those criticisms to those from my least favorite generation, Generation 5, it doesn't give things a good look when you want to rate the generations. I will rate all 8 generations later on during this generation, as doing it now would make it have a lot of recency bias. Long story short, I was very disappointed with the game, and if I gave Sun and Moon an 8 out of 10 before, this deserves like a 6.5 or a 7 out of 10. It's okay, but it disappoints in critical areas. Hey, but with that, that's the good and the bad of Pokemon Sword and Shield. What did you enjoy about the new games? What did you dislike about them? What Pokemon should you worship with all your snug... Wait, who put this in the script? Well, anyways, let me know your opinions down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed and want to see more, go ahead and drop a like from the top and subscribe to start the climb today. With that though, I want to thank you for watching. I'm going to catch you back at the top later on because that is how we do what? Hey, look, a snob.